Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are and what time of day it is when you watch this video. My name is Z, and welcome back to my gaming corner. In today's episode, we are talking about Tier 4. And Tier 4 is where we venture into the realm of Outland, the shattered world of Draenor that was broken apart by Ner'zhul's reckless sorcery and all the portals he tried to open. Tier 4 is also where the first major change in the tier gear comes into play. So for tiers 1, 2, and 3, they are all basically the same. You kill a boss, and you get the actual loot. For tier 3, you go to the Black Market Auction House, and you buy the actual gear from the Black Market Auction House. For tier 4, we move to the token system. So you'll kill a boss, and then a token can drop that is for one of 3 different classes, like Paladin, Hunter, Shaman, for example. And then what you used to do is you would used to have to go to a special vendor and trade that token for the piece of actual tier equipment. Well, now you can just click the token if it's of your class, and it will automatically create that tier equipment for you. But tier 4, all the way through to tier 16, is all on a token system. And when we get to tier 14, I'll explain the teensy little change with the token system between tier 13 and 14, but that won't come until we get to the Mists of Pandaria raids. But today is tier 4, and you're probably wondering, it's like, Z, why are you standing in Orgrimmar if you're going after tier gear and tier 4 is in Outland? Well, I wanted to show you something cool that I don't know how many of you know about this secret, even though it's not really a secret. But if you think about it, for those of us who play Horde characters, in the BFA environment, how many of us actually go back to Old Undercity? Or if you play in the Alliance environment, how many of us really go and have business and dealings in Darnassus, like in Old Darnassus? For the Alliance players, I know a lot of you do most of your business in either Stormwind or Boralus, because Boralus has portals to everywhere. But Boralus does not have a portal to Darnassus. They don't. And the Zandalar portal room for the Horde does not have a portal to the Undercity. You have to find those special portals in your capital city. So for Undercity, that portal is in Orgrimmar, and for Darnassus, that portal is at the docks in Stormwind. So if you are an Alliance player and you come to your main capital city of Stormwind, you need to come down to this dock right here. It is the southwestern dock, like the extreme south dock, and then right here on the corner of that dock you will find a portal to Old Darnassus. Now, if you haven't talked to Caledormi and turned time back to before the events of BFA, you will appear at Caledormi, and you can talk to her and turn the events back, and then you'd have to fly over to Rutharen Village and go through the little pink portal. But the portal we want to get to the tier 4 raids is the portal to Hellfire Peninsula. And if you look in our various portal rooms, there is not a portal to Hellfire Peninsula. The portal goes to Shattrath City. And Shattrath City is not a really good place to branch off from going for Burning Crusade raids, with the exception of Serpent Shrine Caverns. But Black Temple, Magtheridon's Lair, Gruul's Lair, Tempest Keep, all of those other raids, the jumping off point is Hellfire Peninsula. And I'm going to show you where the portal still exists for that. And the portal is in Old Darnassus and Old Undercity. For the Horde, If you come up here to the Stranglethorn Vale Zeppelin Tower, you see there's the Zeppelin to Gromgal Stranglethorn Vale. On the other side of the Zeppelin Tower, you will find a portal to the Undercity. And here's hoping you have your time setting set to where when you click on this portal, you appear in Old Undercity rather than up out in the field area at Caledormi where you have to turn the time back. I always like to keep my game in the past, so when I click on Undercity, I appear right here in the Undercity. And now I'm over here in the Mage Quarter. This is where you appear when you spawn in to Old Undercity, and if you turn to the right, look what we find, a portal to Hellfire Peninsula. The same is true for Darnassus. So if we look at our big map, and we go over here to Darnassus, and we'll see it's the remains of Darnassus because I have Darkshore for the rares for BFA. But in Darnassus, when you appear there, you appear inside the Temple of the Moon, and the portal to Hellfire Peninsula will be right in front of you on the right when you zone in to Old Darnassus. So let's click on this Hellfire Peninsula portal, and this puts us a lot closer to our first outing. Now the other changed to tier 4, and this is prevalent for tiers 5, 11, 14, 17, and I want to say 19, though I think the actual pieces of 19 drop in the Nighthold, whereas the lookalikes just drop in Emerald Nightmare. But yeah, for tier 4, definitely tier 11, and definitely tier 14, there are multiple raid areas that drop the tokens that we need for our tier gear. And the first raid we're going to talk about today is Magtheridon's Lair. And we are approaching Hellfire Citadel in Hellfire Peninsula. This is old Burning Crusade content. This is not the Draenor, this is not the Hellfire Citadel in Tanan Jungle. This is the Hellfire Citadel that looks kind of old and run down and falling apart. This is the one in Hellfire Peninsula in Outland in Burning Crusade content. And if you fly to the back side of the Citadel, you'll see this dark black road on the red ground, and you see the summoning stone, the meeting stone for Magtheridon's Lair. So we are now located right here, and you see there's the raid portal for Magtheridon's Lair. We're right here at coordinates 4554 in Hellfire Peninsula, 4554. And you go in this little archway, and you see the raid portal to Magtheridon's Lair. Now this is a one boss raid area. And we also have to do Gruul's Lair, and we also have to do Karazhan to get all the tokens for tier 4. So before we begin our run through these 3 raids, let me show you what tier 4 looks like. So up here on my mini-map, I have this lovely little add-on called Atlas Loot. And if we take this pull-down menu in Atlas Loot down to Collections, and this pull-down menu down to Tier Sets, right here we can see Tier 4, the Burning Crusade. Now for Druids, the Tier 4 set I do believe is called the Raiment of Malorne. And while the tier sets move away from having a full 8 pieces, there's no longer belts and boots and bracers that are actually a part of the tier set. There are corresponding belts and boots that they're not called like Malorne boots, they're called something else, but they match the Malorne set. We'll do one time. They have these big shoulders with feathers and these 2 big, huge, glowy orbs on them. Very cool if you ask me. Now the Hunter tier 4 set is the Demon Stalker stuff. And they get a cool helmet with cool horns and green eyes, and they get, it's almost like demon faces on their shoulders with this green, smoky, misty, fell stuff coming out of their shoulders. Okay, for the mages, they get this collar. Instead of an actual helmet that covers their whole head, they get a really high collar. I believe this is the regalia of the Aldor. And their stuff looks like this. Now these shoulders give off this blue, frozen, wispy, misty stuff all over the shoulders. You can't really see it in the dressing room, but when you're in game, these shoulders have a frozen, it's a very subtle mist coming off of the shoulders. All right, the Paladin Steph. Paladin set is called the Justicar armor, and it has these glowy purple crystals on the helmet and on the shoulders. You can see just a very, let me zoom in just a little bit. You can see a very subtle glow on that purple crystal in the helmet. And then these purple crystals on the shoulders, they have this very, very subtle netherwind glow on the crystals. Very cool if you ask me. For the priests, this is the regalia of the incarnate. Now, like the mages, they don't get an actual helm that covers up their head. They get a really nice, elegant, high collar. And they have these holy mist, like these wispy, holy, misty things in very subtle yellow coming off of the shoulders. And the shoulders glow very subtly. They look really, really cool. Okay, for the rogue, their tier 4 set is, I believe, I forget what their stuff is called. It's like Netherblade or something like that. But they get this wicked cool face mask. Let me zoom in on the face. It like has these two big, almost like tusks or something coming out from below the chin, and then it's like this mask, like you're a superhero or a ninja or something, like a cowl, but you're not really Batman, right? And then they get these wicked claws on the shoulders, and you can kind of very subtly see on the background there's like this black misty ooze stuff coming off of the Netherblade shoulders. That is the rogue tier 4 set. All right, the shaman tier 4 set looks like this, and these shoulders has this like wind energy that goes from the front of the shoulders and arcs over the top of the shoulder and goes to the back of the shoulder, and it just looks really, really cool. Now this is a robed shaman set. Not all shaman sets have robes. Some have pants. Not all paladin sets have robes. Some are a pants set, like the tier 4. But the shaman stuff looks like that. The warlock tier 4 is the Raiment of the Voidwalker, and they get a massive black portal that appears around their character when they have the helmet equipped. Okay, most effects relating to... Oh, he's yelling, "My blood will be the end of you." MacTheridin is yelling at us. So yeah, let's go back to our collections and to tier sets. And tier 4 with the warlocks. So, like I was saying, most of the effects that are related to warlock gear are tied to the helmets. Like the wings you get with the warlocks for tier 6, and also the PvP set for the Legion Season 2, and also tier 20. You have to have the helmet equipped to get those really cool wings when you jump with the warlocks. And so, like with this set, if you don't like wearing helmets and you always keep your helmet hidden, this black portal around your character, you can really see it right there. The black portal around your character will not appear if you hide your helmet. You have to have the helmet transmogged and showing to see this icky black inky portal around your character. But that is the Raiment of the Voidwalker. And then the warrior tier 4 set looks like this. Looks really, really cool if you ask me. That's the warrior stuff. And then, like I said, there are 3 raids that we need to do to get the tokens for tier 4. They are MacTheridin's Lair, Gruul's Lair, and Karazhan. This is old school Karazhan, not the new Karazhan, which is Return to Karazhan. So this raid layer is really, you start in this big room, you come down this hallway, and then it splits and it goes down left and right. And it doesn't matter which side you go down, because MacTheridan is waiting in the big room at the bottom. You can split the raid group up, half you go left, half you go right. It does not matter. This is the few places in an Azeroth where every character, like every NPC, every mob you want to kill, has the boss status listed next to their picture. Even though we can basically just one-shot everybody. Now, here's the rub. If you don't kill all the trash when you pull MacTheridan, all the rest of the other side will come and attack you while you're trying to kill MacTheridan. But this is such old content that you can basically almost one-shot the boss. So down here at the bottom, we find this entrance, and there's MacTheridan being held in a stasis field by these Hellfire Channeler boxes. You have to destroy all of these Hellfire Channelers in order to release MacTheridan. And you see the other side that I didn't kill? They're all coming to attack me now. Oh. I think I just got feared. Not cool. Alright, what does MacTheridan want to give us? He wants to give us some gold, Liar's Tongue gloves, the Eye of MacTheridan, more Liar's Tongue gloves. And then we get, this is what I'm talking about, the Chest Guard of the Fallen Defender for Warrior, Priests, and Druids. So we got the Warrior, Priest, and Druid stuff that sells for 5 gold, so if it's not for your class, just sell it to a vendor, and you'll get a quick 5 gold from it. We also got the Pit Lord Satchel, which is a unique 20-slot bag. That's cool. And we also got this Black Sack of Gems. When we open this Black Sack of Gems, there's a whole bunch of Burning Crusade gems waiting for us. A lot of epic gems and several rare gems. So let's travel now to Gruul's Lair. And Gruul's Lair is located up here in the Blade's Edge Mountains. You can see it's right there. You see the green portal for the raid layers right up here in the northeast corner of Blade's Edge Mountains. Let me make my way out of MacTheridan's lair, and I will meet up with you at the entrance to the lair of the Dragon Slayer Gruul. I'll meet up with you in just a moment. All right. I have magically appeared here at the meeting stone for Blade's Edge Mountains. I am located way up here, and the meeting stone is located at 6723 in the Blade's Edge Mountains. If you look at the top of the map, you see where it says player and then cursor over on the right. Player on the left, cursor on the right. 6723 is where this meeting stone is, and right here inside this cave is the entrance to Gruul's lair. Now, if you want to get on your flying mount, you can actually fly right inside this cave, and there is the raid entrance for Gruul's lair. Now, Gruul's lair has 2 bosses. MacTheridan's lair has 1, Gruul's lair has 2, and then Karazhan is a mini-boss raid. Like, mini bosses.
I need to get closer.
So here is our first boss, High King Mulgar. And he has a little entourage with him. You have to kill everybody in order to defeat this encounter. This used to be really, really hard. But we'll just, one-shot everybody. There we go. All dead. Alright, what does High King Mulgar want to give us? He wants to give us the Pauldrons of the Fallen Defender, Warrior, Priest, Druid. We're getting a lot of Warrior, Priest, Druid stuff today. We also got the Hammer of the Naru. Very cool. 2-handed mace. Looks like that. That's actually in the Burning Crusade cinematic when it opens up in the Dark Portals there, and Illidan says, 10,000 years cut off from my homeland, 10,000 years in prison, blah, blah, blah. We also got the Belt of Divine Inspiration. That is actually the Priest Tier 5 belt. So if we look really carefully at the collections and the tier stuff, not tabards, tier sets for tier 5, and look at the priest gear, look, we just got the priest tier 5 belt. Because look, the lines match up, the color matches up. High King Mulgar dropped the belt of divine inspiration, which is the tier 5 belt for the priest. So that's where you can look to get that loot. Okay, once you kill High King Mulgar, you want to follow this tunnel on the southwest corner of his room and make your way up to our final boss of Gruul. So you're going to go up this hill, and you're going to kill these few little trash mobs that are just annoying, because I hate killing. The ogres are just so ugly. Alright, there is Gruul the Dragon Killer. Let's throw a Judgment Hammer at him and that should take care of him. There we go, he's dead. Alright, what does he want to give us? He wants to give us some gold. Axe of the Grand Lords, two-handed axe. Looks like this. We also get the Wind Shear boots, mail boots. Those are the Shaman. Those are the Shaman boots. So if we once again pull up the Shaman stuff, so collections, tier sets, tier 4, and we look at Shaman, we just got the Shaman boots from Gruul. They're called the Wind Shear boots, but they do match the Shaman set. Very cool, if you ask me. We also get this Blood Maw Magus Blade, one-handed sword from Burning Crusade. Looks like that. Very cool. We also got the Aldorai Legacy Defender. That is a very coveted shield from Burning Crusade content. We just got 2 of them. And he did not drop any tokens for us. So if we come here to the Burning Crusade and then bring this down to Gruul's lair and look at Gruul the Dragon Killer, he has a chance of dropping the Pants token. And you can see there's Hunter Mage Warlock, Warrior Priest Druid, and Paladin Rogue Shaman. So he didn't drop any tokens for us, but he does drop the Pants token. Let's go now to Karazhan, and we have to first make our way back to Orgrimmar, and then jump on the Zeppelin to Gromgal Base Camp, and then fly over to Karazhan. For the Alliance players, the quickest way to get to Karazhan, because the portal to Karazhan that used to be in the portrait room of Legion Dalaran, they've all been shut down when BFA launched. So for the Alliance players, all you have to do is go to Stormwind and then just fly east by southeast over to Deadwind Pass, and you can make your way to Karazhan. I, being a Horde character, because I play a Blood Elf, have to come to Orgrimmar, and then we fly over to the Zeppelin Towers, and look, the Zeppelin's even waiting for us, which is wonderful. We're going to take the Zeppelin to Gromgal Base Camp, and then fly north by northeast over to Karazhan. So I will meet up with you just as soon as we arrive at Deadwind Pass. So I'll see you in just a moment. All right, welcome back. And you see we're flying over Zul'Gurub, which is adjacent to Deadwind Pass, and you can see the Tower of Karazhan right there. So here we are at Deadwind Pass, and there is Medivh's Cursed Tower of Karazhan. There it is. Now, the Legion dungeon, which is Return to Karazhan, which basically you go through and do the entire raid again, but as a 5-man mythic dungeon, the portal to that is right there on the east side of the tower. You look for this building that has the bridge going across, and you find the portal that leads into the 5-man dungeon, Return to Karazhan. We'll show that in our Legion dungeon videos many moons into the future. what you want to do is you want to come down here to the front gate. And the front gate is located on the southeast corner of the Karazhan area. So, I mean, you look at it, it's really on the south. You see the little door there on the south, but it's really on the southeast because there's no door over there. The raid portal is right there. So to enter the Burning Crusade version of Karazhan, come down to the ground. For the Return to Karazhan, go up on the side of the tower. I think something is... There we go. There we go. Yeah, the portal didn't activate the instance. So yeah, this is the Burning Crusade level 70 raid. And when you enter Karazhan, you have to open this door, and now we can enter the raid proper. And I love the music. Love the music of Karazhan. So Karazhan is a multi-level raid. First boss is Huntsman the Huntsman, and then we have to go up the stairs to the higher level. Now, we could go into the servant quarter and kill the rare that spawns, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to kill all the bosses. There's the servants' quarters, the upper library stables, the banquet hall, the guest chambers, the opera hall. There's a lot of places in Karazhan. So let's get to it. And what's nice about this first boss, Huntsman the Huntsman, he has a less than 1% chance. It's like 0.1. It's less than 1%. He has the chance of dropping the fiery warhorse's reins, which give a mount that looks just like that version of Midnight. It's a unique mount, and it comes from the level 70 version of Karazhan. Alright, what loot do we want to get? We want to get the Steelheart Crossbow. Oh, apparently I have aggro. Okay, we'll have to look at those a bit later. Because if you have aggro, you can't look at the dressing room. I can't imagine why I have aggro unless it's from these horses and other things in the stables.
I'm out of range.
Yeah, that's one of the glitches of Karazhan is you kill a boss and aggro does not drop away once you kill the boss. So I can't even look at the loot until we get done with the raid. Okay, let's make our way we made our way from the servants' quarters. We made our way up these stairs, and that brings us to the banquet hall. So we go up these stairs. And while this is one of the best places to harvest netherweave cloth, we're going to skip as much of the trash as we can. Now here's the banquet hall, and there is Morose.
Preparations must be made.
Alright, he wants to give us the Nether Shard Girdle. And the Nether Shard Girdle is the tier 4 mage belt. Very cool, if you ask me. Now, if you're hunting for transmog appearances, the next boss you would naturally go and kill would be the Maiden of Virtue, which is up in the servants' quarters. I'll show you where the boss is. I mean, we can kill her, but she's not required to complete this raid, and she's not required to progress deeper and deeper into the depths of the Tower of Karazhan. So once you ascend these stairs, now you're in the Grand Ballroom area. Oh, and I aggroed that little mob right there. Whoops. Over here on the right side of this room... Oh, and I guess these guys want to aggro too. Okay, fine. You'll see this curious hallway. And we'll just, sneak inside, and of course he wants to aggro. But then if you come down here, you will find the optional boss, the Maiden of Virtue. one Judgment Hammer should take care of her. All right. What she gave us the bracers of maliciousness and the gloves of centering, which I'll have to show you those when we get our aggro taken care of when we zone out of Karazhan. Now, there are shortcuts to different areas inside the tower. For example, here in the servants' quarters, if you go down this hallway right there, at the end of this hallway, you end up in the servants' quarters downstairs by the rare boss that appears once you kill all the little trash enemies. You can take that shortcut down to the entrance area. But instead, we're going to come back here to the Grand Ballroom, and we're going to make our way into the opera. And this is where the music changes, and we get to hear Sebastian's organ playing the theme of Karazhan. Now, as one of the cool features of Karazhan, while you do have the ability to kill all these spectral patrons, if you leave them alive, you're going to get an applause for your performance on the opera stage. Now, in this version of Karazhan, there are a few options for the opera version you get. You could get the Wizard of Oz, you could get Red Riding Hood and the Big Bad Wolf, you could get Romeo and Juliet. There's lots of options you can get here. In the Return to Karazhan dungeon, they revamped the opera hall to where you can get West Side Story and Beauty and the Beast and some others that I haven't experienced yet. But there's different events for the opera hall in the Return to Karazhan dungeon versus the Burning Crusade version of the raid. Okay, it looks like all these trash mobs want to aggro on me. That's fine. Now, you have to kill Morose in order to be able to talk to Barnes. Okay, so if you use storyline, it's like right here in my add-ons, we come down to storyline. I have an option that says disable storylines in Interests and on the Darkmoon Islands, but I also have this, I don't know why this hide original frames is up. Because when you hide the original frames, you can't talk to Barnes. So let's do a /reload and see if that fixes the issue. Because you shouldn't hide original frames. Yeah, let me take care of that really fast. Okay, just one moment. Okay, what I had to do is as a slight little notice to people who use the add-on storyline, which replaces all quest dialogue with two characters talking to each other and quest scrolling across the bottom with like pictures of the background. If you use storyline, please note if you're coming to the level 70 raid of Karazhan, you have to completely disable that add-on. It used to be that if you had the options in storyline where it said hide original frames, you used to just be able to have to deselect that and it would work. But now you have to completely disable the add-on if you want to talk to Barnes. Finally, everything is in place. Are you ready for your big stage debut? This option right here that says I am not an actor does not appear until you have killed Morose. So you have to kill Morose first, and then you can select I'm not an actor. Oh, don't worry, you'll be fine. You look like a natural. Okay, I'll give it a try then. Splendid. I'm going to get the audience ready. Break a leg. Oh, and see, I like the organ music for here.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this evening's presentation. Tonight, we explore a tale of forbidden love.
Romeo and Juliet.
But beware, for not all love stories end happily, as you may find out. Sometimes, love looks like a thorn. But don't take it from me. See for yourself what tragedy lies ahead when the paths of star-crossed lovers meet. And now, on with the show!
See, they're applauding. They're clapping for us, and you hear that applause in the background. If you kill all the spectators, you don't get the applause. All right, and there's the curtain to the opera hall. And we get to fight Romulo and Julianne, which is basically Romeo and Juliet. Oh, look, there's a little castle wall, a little moon in the sky. Very cool.
Romulo, I come. Oh, this do I drink to thee.
And as we know from the story of Romeo and Juliet from Shakespeare, she thinks that Romeo is dead, so she drinks poison, but Romeo wasn't dead, so then he takes the same poison, and they both die. It's a very tragic story.
Gentle knight, and give me back my Romulo, happy dagger. This is thy sheath. There rust, and let me die.
All right, they want to give us these trial fire trousers. See, and I can't even look at it in the small preview window because of this stupid glitch with aggro. See how my name is very subtly glowing red up here in my portrait frame? Yeah, we also got this ribbon of sacrifice, which is a trinket. Kind of cool, kind of cool. Okay, so once the opera hall is defeated, you saw this door open, and this will allow you to make your way up into the balcony area of the opera hall. And like I said, we're going to try and skip all the trash we can, but this trash has a wider catch area for aggro with players, so you might have to kill a few of the spectators up here in the balconies. Yeah. But come over here to this place, right over here in the opera hall area, the balconies, and you'll find this ramp going up. Now we're also going to do the optional boss Nightbane, because he drops some exclusive loot that you can only get from him. And in order to get Nightbane to spawn, you have to talk to the Violet Eye people standing out front on the ground in front of the Karazhan portal, and you have to basically attune yourself to Karazhan, and you have to go and find the black urn and then put ashes in it. And you have to travel to various dungeons and various places all over the Burning Crusade. So we're here in the Broken Stair. And you see there's this lovely portal right here. And if we opened these double doors, you find a raid portal. When you come into the Return to Karazhan raid, you enter right there through that raid portal, and it enters you into the level 110 version of this raid, which is a 5-man dungeon. And there's lower and upper Karazhan. But when you open those doors, it starts a speed run for a very exclusive mount. But we want to keep going down and down and down. Now, this ramp right here that goes back up the tower, that's the way to get to the menagerie. We want to go out onto the Master's Terrace and activate the Black Urn. So yeah, once you have attuned yourself to Karazhan, right here on the southwest part of the Master's Terrace, you will find this blackened urn, and when you click on that, it summons the boss. An ancient being awakens in the distance. Does he come in from the south? Oh no, he flew in and we didn't even see him. I think he came in from over there. But there he is. And when they revamped the Karazhan raid into a 5-man dungeon for Legion, they adjusted the look of the bosses in here. He looks even better now.
2, 1.
Now, the downside with this boss is you have to experience all phases. There's 2 air phases, 2 ground phases, and you have to experience all of it. Like, I can try and kill him. He has 1 HP left, but until we experience both air phases, we can't kill him. So yeah, he's going to spit bones at us and spit skeletons at us. Then he's going to come back to the ground, and then he's going to go back up in the air, but we can't kill him until he officially lands. Because here's the second air phase. Okay, I guess there's going to be 3 air phases. Okay. Okay, so after the 3rd air phase, he'll come over here and he's going to land on the other side of the Master's Terrace. So be ready. Because now we can finally kill Nightbane. All right, he wants to give us some gold. And then the Dragonheart Flame Shield, which I still have aggro, so I can't look at it through the dressing room. And the Scaled Breastplate of Carnage. I'll have to show you this loot when we teleport out of here once the raid is complete. Okay, so now that we have killed Nightbane, let's make our way up to the Menagerie as we start to ascend the tower. Oh, hang on. No, we need to go over here. There we go. So here's the broken stair. And as you can see in the broken stair, we came from the Opera Hall. And we have to come down to this point, and you see it goes back up the tower. So let's start making our way and climb this tower. This is a very tall tower, and it starts to get a little crazy when we get to the upper levels. The Menagerie is only the beginning of it. So at this point, turn to the right, come through the door, and keep going up and up and up. So yeah, we're making our way. We came from the Master's Terrace. We're just going to keep going up the stairs, up and up and up and up and up, until we reach the Menagerie. Oh, I think we have to turn to the... No? We have to turn to the left and go across this little bridge. And then come over here, and go up these stairs, and finally we reach the mezzanine, where the broken stair turns into the Menagerie. Now, the curator who runs the Menagerie has a very small chance of dropping his remote that allows you to summon the Menagerie custodian. See, there he is, the curator. And he is one of the pets you need for many, many pet battles. Oh, and it looks like he pulled these 2 groups of arcane enemies. Oh dear. Alright, so we get some gold. This is the trash from the loot from the trash. We got these Dragon Quake shoulder pads, which are really cool shoulders. We also got the gloves of the Fallen Champion, Paladin, Rogue, Shaman. So we got our tier 4 gloves. And then some more trash loot. Okay. Now, if you get the token for your class for the tier 4, all you have to do now is it says use, create a class set item appropriate for your loot specialization. So we'll right click the gloves and we get the Justicar gauntlets. And these gloves, which I can't look at it in the dressing room, but that's how you get the tier 4 stuff. For most of the tier 4 stuff, when you click the item, the sale price of the actual item is more than 5 gold, so you can actually get a little more money out of it. For the gloves, unfortunately, we lose a little bit of money because the token sells for 5 gold, the gloves sell for 4 gold, 9 silver. So, but that's how you get the tier stuff. When you get the token, just right-click it, and you get the actual tier 4 stuff. Okay, so after we've killed the curator, we didn't get the pet. Come out here into the Guardian's library. We're going to make our way to this ramp so we can start ascending the library. And the library is very, very tall. Look at this. We have to go up and up into those nether reaches of the tower. And it all starts with that ramp over there and up into these areas in the library. So let's walk along here and jump down, hopefully far enough beyond those arcane serpents. Yes. We're making our way down to this ramp. And we're going to skip all the trash we can because we don't want to be spending all of our time just killing trash and filling up our bags with garbage loot. We want to kill the bosses. Our next boss is Terriston Illhoof. And he has a chance of dropping an imp pet. All right, when you get to this point, so we're now in the Guardian's library, and we came up the ramp. We went through the first room, and then you see it kind of makes like a zigzag pattern. When we get to this room, and there's all these little homunculus running around, what you want to do is you want to... Oh, that's going to aggro the whole group. We got to kill everybody. So when you get to this point and there's all the homunculus around, look, there's a disconnecting bookshelf in the library. This will allow you to go down and kill Terriston Illhoof. And this takes us down to the repository, which is a simple map, and there he is, Terriston, or Terrestrian, or Terrestrian, or however you want to pronounce it, Mr. Illhoof, who has a very small chance of dropping one of the imp pets. The imps look just like these homunculus. Come on, come attack me. Come attack me.
It's too far away.
All right, we get 4 gold. Now, this Cincture of Will is the tier 4 belt for the priest. We also get this Shadowvine Cloak of Infusion. No pet. So sad. But we did get the priest tier 4 belt. Okay, once you've beaten Terriston Illhoof, or Terrestrian Illhoof, make your way up to the next level, and you will find a door. Like here we are, and there's some ghosts flying around. We'll try to not aggro them. But you come to this room right here. You turn to the left, and you actually get to kill a ghost of Medivh's father, who was High Conjurer to the King of Stormwind, Neelis Aran. And there he is.
What do you want? Stay away from me!
Okay, he wants to give us Rapscallion boots, which are the rogue boots, I do believe, and then also this Shermanar Great Ring. Interesting loot. We'll have to look at those boots after we clear the raid out. Okay, so once you've killed the Shade of Aran, you can continue to make your way up and up and up. Just look for paths that go up. Oh, I aggroed a ghost. And another ghost wants to join in. Then his friends want to join in. Not good, not good. And then we go back to having partial aggro from the boss we killed. because aggro doesn't ever seem to drop in Karazhan. It used to, but as you add more and more game systems on top of each other, the game just breaks after a while, and WoW is broken. So, and of course these ghosts want to aggro on me. Not cool. So now we reach the Ethereals. And the first room of Ethereals brings us to this room up in the reaches of the Guardian's Library. And we now have a choice. We can either go up or we can go down. If you choose to go up, this will take you to Netherbane. And if you are still working on gathering your Netherwing eggs to get reputation with Netherwing, Netherbane will give you 2 to 3 Netherwing eggs. He's located here in the Celestial Observatory. See, there he is, or Netherspite. So when you kill this big, colossal Netherwing dragon, we get the Mantle of Abramus, which is a plate shoulder. We'll show that later. We got 3 Netherwing eggs just from killing that boss. So if you need Netherwing eggs, you can come here and kill Netherbane or Netherspite, and you can get 2 to 3 Netherwing eggs. Let's make our way now to the one fight in this raid that is mechanics heavy instead of just a one-shot tank and spank boss. You actually have to do the chess event if you want to proceed farther. And the chess event can get rather crazy if you don't know what's going on. So now we've made our way down. See, there's the path that went up to Netherspite. We're now going down into the Gamesman Hall. So enter this room and turn to the right. And then take this path. And it will go up and then it's going to go down into the Gamesman's Hall. Now there is one vendor. You can see him right here on the minimap. It's Ethyar. He is the only vendor in this game, not this game, but in this tower. I mean, there's one down on the base level, but you haven't collected any loot. Your bags are empty. So if you're trying to talk to Willian or Wythian, whatever his name is, you won't have any loot to sell him. But Ithyar, if your bags are getting full, like we talked to him, he sells the design for the powerful Earthstorm Diamond, the formula enchant ring for striking, and the design bracing Earthstorm Diamond, as well as 5 vanishing powder. But if you want to sell all the crap loot that you don't need, like all this stuff that's marked as vendor trash, you can sell all the vendor trash item to Ethyar before you go to the higher reaches of the tower. Let's see, all this stuff is vendor trash. I'm just selling the stuff with the little gold icons on them. The rest of the stuff is like from Gruul's Lair. Like we don't need that because we can't use it. We can't use this. We can't show off trinkets. We can't really show off purified draining waters. So yeah, I think that's all we need to sell. Just clear up some space in our bags. You can also repair here if you need to. Okay. When you open these doors over here in the northeast corner of the Guardian's Library, this is the Gamesman Hall doors, and look, it's a giant chessboard. And you will also find an echo of Medivh standing right there. Let's talk. If you want to pass beyond the Gamesman Hall, you have to defeat the opposing king. So, to pass beyond my hall, you must defeat me in a game of skill. Control your king when you are ready to begin. Now, the way to get through this is when you control Warchief Blackhand, you begin the fight. Now, the first thing you do when you control Warchief Blackhand, press cancel, and then you're going to get a debuff called Recently In Game. It's like a little guy with a finger in front of his face, like shh, shh. You have to wait until that goes away, and then control the grunt directly in front of Warchief Blackhand and move him 1 square forward and hit cancel. That's very important because we have this cheat cooldown at a minute 26. And the first cheat that Medivh does is to put your square and the square of one of your teammate on fire. And if you stand in the fire, your war chief is going to take a buttload of damage. So you move that grunt out of the way so you have an empty square. So when your square gets put on fire, you can move one square forward. Now, for this opening part of the game, what you want to do is just cast Bloodlust, because it's too soon to be moving your war chief anywhere. I can just zoom out a little bit. Yeah, not really. Just keep casting Bloodlust. And what Bloodlust does is it gives a buff to all the surrounding characters, especially your warlock, who's going to be shooting fireballs at the enemy.
No matter. Let us see.
Oh, see, we buffed the peon that's attacking the conjurer, and the warlock is attacking the conjurer. Okay, there's the first cheat. So when your square goes on fire, move one square forward, and it looks like this grunt is going to be dying too. So unfair. We can also help the grunt by casting Cleave, and that will damage the conjurer. Now there are clerics on the other side. There's a cleric there and a cleric way back there on the back row. They heal the enemy team. Yeah, that grunt died because he was standing in the fire. And the human conjurer is about to die. Human conjurer dead. Wonderful. And this little human footman is dead. And this human footman is... Can I reach him with Cleave? Why, yes I can. Oh, King Lane is now in range of my Cleave. Let's see if we can kill him before the clerics can heal him, shall we? Yeah, that footman. One more Cleave and he's dead. There we go, he's dead. And if my warlock is smart, he's going to start attacking King Lane too. Yep.
The wheels have begun to turn. Interesting. The transparent strategy. Necessary sacrifice.
Yeah, I don't know why it says we just failed. We didn't. But you heard that little Mario Brothers when you jump off a cliff or you fall down a pit. You hear that little sound? Yeah, we just heard that. I don't know why.
For an alternative scenario.
So he's going to buff one of the water elementals and one of the knights. Now we have one cleric dead and the other cleric's out of range. We killed King Lane, and that's how you advance in the Gamesman's Hall. So you see that the board is all sparkly and glowy. We killed it, and so if we talk to Medivh now that the fight is over, oh, he's still the same, but we can now access this chest.
Yes, of course.
And the chest, we get the headdress of the High Potentate, I guess. Can we look at that now? We can. So we get that helmet. Looks like that. Kind of interesting. We also get a necklace, which I can't really show off. But now that we no longer have aggro, which is wonderful, let's show off this other loot we got. So we got the Liar Tongue gloves. Leather gloves that look like this. Kind of cool. And then those are the shoulder tokens. We already showed off the Hammer of the Naru. We already showed off the two-handed axe, the wind shear boots we showed off. We showed off all this stuff. But this Steelheart Crossbow, which we got from Atum and the Huntsman, looks like that. And then, let's see, the Nether Shard Girdle. If you look at that, that looks, because it is, that is the Tier 4 Mage Set belt. So we come down here to collections, come down here to tier sets for Tier 4. See, we just got the Mage Tier 4 belt. Very cool, if you ask me. And then we got these gloves of centering, which look like that. Not part of any tier gear, not part of any tier set. And then we also got these trial fire trousers. So if we reset and we look at the scaled breastplate of Carnage, which you can't really see because of my tabard, it's a male set that's like white with, or like black with silver inlay. We can now look at these trial fire trousers, which look like that. Kind of interesting, right? And then this Dragon Heart Flame Shield is a dragon's head that shoots a huge plume of flame out every so often from his mouth. We got that from Netherbane. Or Nightbane, the random, like the optional boss that you have to have the blackened urn to summon. We got that shield from him. And then we also got these Dragonquake shoulder guards, which are a recolor of the Hunter Tier 2. And this is in white and bone-colored gold with bright red eyes. Very cool shoulders, if you ask me. And then we got our Justicar gloves. We got that from the Curator, so there's our Justicar gloves. And then we got the Cincture of Will. So if we look here at the Priest set, which is right here for Tier 4, that is the belt. Because look, the lines match up. Right here, the color matches up with the gold and with the purple and with the white. We got the Tier 4 belt for the Priests. We got that from Terraston Ilhoof. And then we also got this Shadowvine Cloak of Infusion, which is this long purple cloak, which looks really, really cool. And then we reset. Let me put on these pants. And so yeah, these pantaloons of repentance, these cloth legs, look like that. And then we can look at these boots, which are the Rapscallion boots. These are leather boots, and I do believe those are the Tier 4 Rogue boots. So let's look at the Tier 4 Rogue set. Yes, they are. So we just got the Rapscallion boots from one of the bosses here, and those are the Rogue Tier 4 boots. Very cool. Very cool. And then we also got these Mantle of Abramus from the Shade of Iran, and those are cloth shoulders that look like that. Black, like black balls with a red outline. Kind of cool. And then, of course, we got those pants. And then we got the headdress from the chess event, which, let me move this down and zoom in. Yeah. So that's all the loot we've gotten so far in Karazhan. The Gamesman Hall is defeated. And so now we can make our way up. Now, if you look over here, our Horde characters that were taken, they're clapping because we won. It's kind of cool. So make your way over to the other side of the Gamesman Hall, and this door is now open. There's one fight left, which is Prince Malchezaar, and he can drop the Nether Shard Portal Stone, which summons the Nether Space Abyssal, which is an orange version of Abyssius, which looks really, really cool. Basically, from this room, you come into this room, make your way to the staircase, and just go up the spiral staircase all the way to the top. Don't stop at the different levels to investigate Medivh's private bed chambers, look at his chamber pot. You don't need to do that. Make your way up to the very top of the tower, turn to the right, and you will enter the void space. Or the nether space. And there is Prince Malchezaar, an Eridar demon. One Judgment Hammer should take care of him. Now he has a chance of dropping the Sun Fury bow of the Sindorai, which is a special bow with Sindorai motifs on it. He has a chance of dropping Gore Howl, really cool axe, and the Nether Shard Portal Stone. What do we get today? We get Gore Howl. There it is. There is War Chief Hellscream's axe that's in the Warlords of Draenor opening trailer. There it is. There's Gore Howl. We also got the Helm of the Fallen Champion, Paladin Rogue Shaman. You see how the sell price is 5 gold? But when we click on it and actually make the tier gear, we can sell the actual Justicar Helm for 6 gold. So we get a tiny little profit from that. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. He also gave us a necklace and Gore Howl and 3 gold. So we didn't get any pets from these raids, but we did get quite a lot of loot that we can sell off. But it's no fun ending the video with icky music like that. So let's make our way back to Legion Dalaran by using our Dalaran Hearthstone. And then we can end this video in style. And there's my camera freaking out again. Not good. Not good. So, there you have it. We conquered Magtheridon's lair. We conquered Gruul's lair. We went into Medivh's Cursed Tower. We killed all the bosses. And we got quite a lot of loot. We got the tier 4 mage belt, the tier 4 priest belt, the tier 4 rogue boots. We got a lot of pieces for warrior, hunter, shaman, and we got our helmet and our gloves for the Justicar set, tier 4 for paladin. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give me a thumbs up, rate me a like. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel and tell your friends about us so they can come and they can enjoy these videos and enjoy the adventures just as much as you do. Also, please remember that when you subscribe to the channel and you click the notification bell, you'll always know when new content comes out. My regularly scheduled broadcast is once again going to be weekly on Sundays, and I'm going to record more bonus videos more often so I can post more videos throughout the weeks of different adventures and different side quests and different fun things that you can do while you're in Azeroth. Finally, and most importantly of all, please remember this. World of Warcraft is just a game. And games are meant to be fun, and you're supposed to have fun while you play them. So if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. Meet me back here next time when we venture into the first part of Tier 5. Because Tier 5 has 2 raids associated with it. Tier 6 has 2 raids associated with it. So there's going to be, for the next month, the next 4 uploads is going to be 2 parts of Tier 5 and then 2 parts of Tier 6. Because there's 2 full raids for both of the next 2 sets, 5 and 6. So I look forward to bringing you that content. We're going to start with Serpent Shrine Caverns and get the pieces we can get of Tier 5 from the bosses below Coilfang Reservoir. I look forward to bringing you that content, and I hope you'll join me next time for that adventure in the World of Warcraft. But until then, I'm Z, signing off.